Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to talk about how to use the terminal for experimenting with some Python commands, Python methods with the turtle. So last time we sort of ended at this place where we used the terminal commands cd and ls to tell the terminal to look around and change directories, right? So now we're going to sort of uh, ignore the file explorers and just focus on the Visual Studio Code terminal. So right here, I have this. Basically, this is called sort of like a prompt where you can enter commands that is known by the terminal. So the terminal should know what you're talking about. And so if you install Python correctly, you should be able to type in Python and then dash dash version. Now, once you press enter, there should be some sort of a version that comes up. So in my case, I'm using 3.11.4, where I think the latest one is 3.11.5, but that shouldn't matter too much. But some of you, I think on Macs, you might have to use Python 3. For me, Python 3 actually gives me 3.11.5, which is very interesting. Sometimes Python 3 is not registered, or sorry, Python is not registered as a command in the terminal, so you might have to use Python 3. So once we know that, you either type in Python or Python 3 based on whichever you have, or you can use either if you have both. But now we're going to type in Python. And what this does is it runs the Python executable, which is a file that can sort of allow you to run commands in Python. And so we talked about how the terminal could list the contents and change directories of folders. The terminal is also useful for executing or running files, running applications. So in this case, we're running the Python application right here in our terminal. And this is, so basically this now is directing us to the Python sort of application. So now we can enter Python things. If I said ls in here, would that do anything? No, because Python does not know what ls means. So this is just inside Python. It does not know what ls means. It does not know what cd means. And so it'll give you errors if you type in those terminal commands. Okay, so now that we've sort of gone over this, let's import turtle. So in class, we talked about how we need to first import turtle, and that itself is a fine statement for Python. It will not give you an error. So import turtle, that's fine. And in order for the turtle to show, let's make it go forward by, let's say, 100. Okay, so now this window might pop up. You might have to sort of find it, but here it is. So this is your quote-unquote turtle. It does not look like a turtle. It looks like a triangle, but it is a representation of the turtle. So basically, we can move the turtle around. And let me do that thing again where I hold down left mouse button, drag it over here, and then I can choose the turtle window here. So now I can work side by side. So we already said that the turtle, we wanted the turtle to go forward this way, and let's say I want to now turn it left. So left means since it's facing this way, its left will be here, up. So if I want to turn left by 90 degrees, it will turn by 90 degrees, and then I can make it go forward again, press enter, and now it goes forward, right? And so you can experiment with a bunch of these. Let's say I want to do 90, and then let's say instead of going forward, I went backwards. And I'm like, oh shoot, that is not how I wanted it. So in this case, there isn't really a way to sort of undo. You can't go back to these and say, oh, I want to change this backward to like forward, right? So once in here, once you've entered that command or what we call methods, and you can refer to the lecture slides for this, but once you've sort of entered in a command for the turtle, it's not going to be able to undo this, right? Like you can't just undo that. So you have to be very careful of what you put in the terminal. And usually it's nice. It's nice in this sort of Python environment where you are able to experiment with things really quickly. But the downside of this is that you are not able to undo any of the commands that you just did. Okay, so you have to be very careful here, or you can just experiment and just mess around with things, right? So, okay, so now that we've talked about this actually one more thing. So here, this window will always stay open as long as this Python environment is still running. So if you want to get out of this and go back to the terminal where again ls is and cd are recognized, you have to say quit and then double parentheses, press enter, and then that'll do it. So it'll go back to the terminal, and then we can go on to do our ls and cd and all those sorts of things. So that'll be the end of this video. In the next video, we'll talk about how to use Python, how to write Python files, or how to write Python commands in files.